This is called product classifications. How are our products classified? So, the products are being classified into two categories based on the usage of the product. If the product is going to be consumed by the consumer to satisfy his needs and wants, we call it as consumer goods or consumer products. But if your product is going to be used for industrial purpose, that is, if your product is going to be fed as an input in order to produce some finished good, then we call it as an industrial product, which will be purchased by the producers, not by the consumers. Okay, so under consumer goods, you have further four categories. You have convenience goods, you have shopping goods, you have specialty goods, and you have unsought goods. What is convenience goods? Convenience goods are those products which are frequently purchased on a daily basis and are very less expensive. For example, milk, grocery items. You need milk every day to prepare tea. You need sugar, you need tea bag, you need soap on a daily basis, cold drink, ice creams, medicines. Okay, all these are examples of convenience goods. Then comes the next category, shopping goods, which are not frequently purchased and are little more expensive. For example, furniture, electronic appliances. You don't buy furniture on a daily basis, right? You don't buy electronic appliances on a daily basis. You don't purchase clothes every day. So this comes under category of shopping good. Then you have specialty good. Specialty goods are basically branded products like BMW, Audi, Mercedes, which are very expensive. Okay, the luxury items. These come under the category of specialty items which are not purchased by everybody but elite people. And then finally, you have the category of unsought goods, products which are unknown to consumers or you just don't think about purchasing it, like a fire extinguisher. Under industrial goods, we have further three categories. You have capital items, you have materials and parts, and you have supply and services. Now, I'll be going through each one of them and then you'll be better able to understand. Now, as I said, what are consumer goods? These are the goods which are purchased by the consumer for satisfying some need and want. So, the shopping habit of the consumers can be used in order to classify them into different categories. So, based on the buying habit of consumers, based on your and my buying habit, these are further categorized into, as I said, convenience good, shopping good, specialty good, and unsought goods. Now, what are convenience goods? As I told you earlier, these are purchased regularly, instantly, with minimal effort. Now, convenience goods are further classified into three categories. You have staple goods, you have impulse goods, and you have emergency goods. What is staple goods? These are those products which are purchased by the consumer on a regular basis. Kellogg's cereal, Sensodyne toothpaste, biscuits like Oreo. These all are examples of your staple good. Sugar, curd, all these are examples of staple goods. And then you have impulse goods. What are impulse goods? As the name says, you did not plan to purchase them, but you went to a departmental store, you saw a pack of chocolates, you saw ice cream, and you felt like you had an impulse, let me purchase it. That is the example for impulse goods. Purchasing certain items without planning and with hardly any effort. And then finally, you have emergency goods. What are emergency goods? Medicines, okay, which are purchased as and when a need arises. Now, having medicines is not a daily routine, right? But as the urgency arises, you have to purchase them. Umbrella, suddenly it starts raining. Then what do? You purchase an umbrella. These are examples of emergency goods. So, under convenience goods, you have three categories: staple, impulse, and emergency goods. Then you have shopping goods. What are the shopping goods? As I said earlier, these are little expensive goods which you do not purchase on a daily basis. They have certain characteristics like quality, price, style, suitability, and we compare them before purchasing. For example, if you want to buy a pair of shoes for yourself, then you see Bata shoes are there, Adidas is there, Nike is there. You start comparing their prices. You start comparing which is more reliable, which is more, durable. and then you take the decision of purchasing them. So the examples as have been given for the shopping goods are IKEA home decor, apparels like of H&M. Okay, this all comes under the category of shopping goods. And shopping goods can be further be categorized into homogeneous shopping goods and heterogeneous shopping goods. What are homogeneous shopping goods? All those goods or products which are similar in quality but they differ in price. For example, shoes, right? All the shoes are similar, could be similar in quality, but they all differ in price. And then you have heterogeneous shopping goods. Heterogeneous shopping goods are products with different features and services that may be more important in price. All right. For example, three-star hotel, five-star hotel. Then comes the next category of specialty goods. What are specialty goods? Now, as I said earlier, these are luxury items which will not be afforded by everyone. Talk of purchasing a BMW, talk of purchasing, Audi, Armani designer clothing. Now, everybody cannot afford it. They represent a unique brand, and that is why they have unique characteristics and they are called as specialty goods. So there is no comparison. You cannot compare them with other products, and they are not available conveniently at convenient locations. So these are known as specialty goods. Moving to unsought goods. What are unsought goods? These are those goods which we do not think of purchasing. And in case the companies have to sell them, they have to do a lot of advertising and personal selling for selling these kind of products. For example, how many of you have life insurance done? I'm sure very few. Why? Because we don't think of purchasing life insurance. We think we are healthy. Why do I need to have a life insurance? Unless and until someone comes to your office or someone comes to your home and says, "Sir, we are selling life insurance. We are from LIC. Would you like to insure yourself?" In the same way, from college to home, you are going by bus. Somebody comes with, one salesman comes to you and says, "Sir, this is an encyclopedia. Would you like to have it? You will get a lot of information about science and technology in this encyclopedia." Now, you never thought of purchasing an encyclopedia, but because somebody advertises it to you and then you pay a thought of purchasing it. So, such sort of examples are of unsought goods, which you might have heard about but you never think of purchasing. In the same way, they have given a beautiful example here, symmetry plots. Have you ever thought of, God forbid, purchasing a symmetry plot? No. So these all are examples of unsought goods or unsought products, which is under the category of convenience goods. Now, moving on to the second category of products on the basis of usage, which is called industrial products. Now, what are industrial products? Now, as I said earlier, these are all those products or goods which are being used for the industrial purpose. For example, raw materials, component parts, manufactured parts, capital items, supplies, and services which go into the production process and helps you in producing a finished product. So these are not consumed by consumer as such, but they are being used by the producers. So the first category, raw materials and parts. What is raw material? Raw material is being further categorized into two categories: farm products, fruits. You are using fruits as a raw material and producing juices. Okay, so juice is the finished product. You're using cotton as a raw material and then you're manufacturing or converting it into a cloth. What is cloth or a dress? It is again the finished product. You're using wheat and converting it into wheat bread. Okay, so all these raw materials from the farm products are being taken for the production process and then they are converted into a finished product. Why we call them farm products? Because these are grown by the farmers or produced by the farmers. And then under raw material, you have another category, natural products. What are natural products? Which are not produced by the farmers but which grow naturally, like fishes. Okay, you take fish as a raw material and you prepare a fish curry. Petroleum, right? All these are natural products which are limited. Okay, these resources are limited in the market. So this is example of raw materials. And then you have manufactured parts. Now, what are manufactured parts? For example, you take iron ore. Okay, iron ore is a raw material which is converted into steel. All right, now steel is a manufactured part. Now further, what do you do? The manufactured part steel is taken and is used for manufacturing a car. Now, manufactured material that was a steel again becomes a raw material and then is used by the manufacturing of car. In the same way, you take rubber, which is a raw material. Now, this rubber is being converted into a manufactured part, which is a tire. Now, tire again gets, although tire is a manufactured part, but it again gets converted into a raw material when you are using it to manufacture car. So these all are examples of your industrial good, raw material and manufactured part. Then you have something called capital item. So the second category of industrial good is called capital product item. As the name says, capital. Capital means something which is for long term, an asset. Okay, so these products are long term products which are used for facilitating management of the finished product. For example, building, manufacturing plant which you are using, whereby the manufacturing of the products will be done. Then the other examples of capital products under installation could be generators, elevators, assembly line, okay, which is being used in order to developing a finished product. All these are examples of capital product. Then equipments which will be used, like your office equipment, computers which you will be using, forklift that you will be using, hand tools that you will be using. Okay, all these are examples of your capital product items, and these are long term products. And finally, you have the last category under industrial good, which is called supplies and services. Lubricants, which will be used for running or operating your machine. Coal, which will be used for running your machine. Maintenance and repair items like broom for cleaning your organization or manufacturing plant. Paint, which will be used, okay, and other services like maintenance and repair services, computer repair, office cleaning, and different kind of business services like consultation services, okay, which will be provided. All this is part of your industrial good. Okay, so this was the last category of industrial good, which was classified into three. The first was raw material and parts, the second was capital product items, and the third one was supplies and services. So I stop here, and thank you so much for your time.